Kazakhstan has reaffirmed its commitment to the OPEC Plus agreement, announcing it will take the necessary steps in 2 years to come to meet its obligations and make up for overproduction in 2024. This statement came on February 3rd during the 58th meeting of the Joint Ministerial Monitoring Committee of OPEC Plus wider group. Despite increased production this year, driven by the expansion of the Tengiz field, the Ministry of Energy stated that fulfilling its OPEC Plus commitments remains a top priority. So, how exactly will the country balance these commitments? And with the US President Donald Trump's new energy policy on the horizon, what impact might that have on country's strategy moving forward? Balzhan Samigulina has more from experts on this development story.
The Caspian Pipeline Consortium, Kazakhstan's primary oil pipeline, is tightening its grip on the nation's energy exports. Today, it transports a staggering 80% of Kazakhstan's oil. Just a decade ago, that figure was at the 40%, and the volume of oil flowing through CPC has more than doubled, skyrocketing from 29 million tons to 55. Analysts point this jump to a sharp decline in alternative export routes, leaving CPC to dominate. But as expert Askar Ismailov pointed out, there is no quick fix. To navigate this, he suggested that in today's world, the priority should have been clear: maintain oil production at full capacity.
I think it would be more beneficial for us, keep as much as possible. We understand that OPEC Plus obligations are, and Minister of Energy, they set their commitments to keep this reduction. But in terms of situation in Kazakh economy, I think it's better to keep as much as possible oil production. And this, of course, will help to keep our refinery plants and oil products.
The Caspian Pipeline Consortium is crucial for Kazakhstan's oil exports. Last year, 63 million tons of oil passed through its terminal, with 54.8 million tons coming from Kazakhstan. The key suppliers are Tengiz, Kashagan and Karachaganak. However, experts warn that CPS vulnerability lies in its political dependencies and limited diversification. So how secure is Caspian Pipeline Consortium's infrastructure, and how can the country reduce the risk? Experts say by developing alternative export routes, including through China and the Trans-Caspian international route. Notably, recently Kazakhstan launched a new export route shipping oil from Kashagan to Baku on the tanker Taras. From there, the oil flew through Baku-Tbilisi-Ceyhan pipeline to the Mediterranean, with plans to increase shipments to 2.2 million tons annually.
The plans for 2025 are remaining unchanged. The same as for 2024. We are planning to move around 1.5 million tons per annum, and according to the shipment, the sellers will decide whether they will expand this export route and the volumes according to the commercial negotiations.
As industry leaders turn their attention to the U.S. energy outlook this year, all eyes have been on President Donald Trump's promise of a drill baby drill policy. In stark contrast to the climate-focused Biden administration, Trump's team is set to deliver on the fossil fuel industry's wish list, ramping up oil production and boosting demand for its products. They are prepared to roll back regulations that favor electric vehicles and fuel-efficient hybrids, while greenlighting Gulf Coast project to liquefy and export natural gas. New Times spoke with former OPEC analyst George Leon to break down what's ahead for U.S. energy and what it could mean for the global economy and geopolitics.
Now, in reality, we don't think that this is going to have a significant impact in domestic U.S. production, because essentially there are different there are concerns about capital discipline in the shale sector in particular, and there's also depletion of inventories in the most prolific basins. We don't think that is going to have a significant impact in the short term. It might have more of a material impact in the medium term, but for 2025, the impact is likely to be extremely limited.
George Leon said the biggest challenge for oil producers this year is oversupply in the market. While demand is expected to grow by 1 to 1.2 million barrels per day, non-OPEC countries like the US, Canada and Brazil are ramping up production, flooding the market too. So OPEC Plus producers are caught in the middle, and analysts predict oil prices to stay between $75 to $80 per barrel, which isn't great news for producers. The question then becomes, what can these oil-producing nations do? Leon suggested that the best move would be to curb production in an effort to stabilize prices, especially in the light of uncertainty coming from the geopolitical aspects, where key questions include the U.S. stance on Iran, potential changes in Tehran's crude exports, the impact of conflicts on Russian oil flows, and what's next for Venezuela. With so many moving parts, OPEC Plus producers will need to stay alert and ready to react quickly to shifting market conditions. Полжан Самигулина, New Time.